Good morning, everyone. We are here this morning with an incredible new guest, and some of you might also recognize our fabulous co-host.
Good morning.
Miss Cindy Haynes from EraserFarm, and we have the star of the show today, Mr. Marcus Fernandez. I had to double check. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's yes.
Yeah.
I nailed it, right?
You got the name right.
Amazing.
I don't know if the star component, but the name's right.
Well, we've got 21 minutes starting now to figure that part out.
Okay.
Today, we are here with Marcus to talk about building trust beyond the case file. He will tell you that he is an attorney by trade. We're going to find out what other talents he's got given the questions we have queued up for him today. So,
Ooh, how fun.
Yeah.
Let's not waste time, I guess. Yeah, you're already on the clock.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I would like to start us off with just a little bit of an icebreaker.
Okay.
Your firm runs 24/7, given the type of law you practice, which is
Personal injury case.
Thank you so
Civil
much.
Trial law.
Yep. So people are getting hurt all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Given that piece of information, do you actually ever turn your phone off, or is it just like an appendage to your body at this point?
So it's actually almost always on Do Not Disturb.
Tell us your secrets.
Yeah, so it's almost always on Do Not Disturb, but we have like a answering service that's 24 hours, and that has the special ring through.
Yep.
But everything else is well, my wife too, but the rest are
Okay.
Do Not Disturb.
That makes sense. Respectably so.
Yeah.
Yeah. She gets the bat line.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And now we know you also have a 7-pound poodle who has special access as well.
He does, yeah, especially mid-sleep. So it's shaking, trampling, and growling.
Yes.
Had me up last night. So.
It prepares you for the fierce clients
The
that
boss.
you encounter. Yes, in other areas. I'm
It
sure.
does, yeah.
Yeah. It's always the little ones that are like the terrorists, I feel like. You know, as a 5'2" person, I can appreciate that. I want to talk to you a little bit about your practice. And really, I think the most interesting thing from my lens, given that we're marketers around here mostly, is this idea around trust. Because when you are in a compromising position, I feel like it's quite a decision of who you go to that you select to represent you in a time of vulnerability, right? What would you say that you attribute the ability to create that line of trust with people?
Yeah, I think intuitively we are, at least like me, is just trustworthy of another person unless some sort of breach of trust happens.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's coming into a meeting with the client sort of with that understanding is I'm going to trust you. I assume you're going to trust me.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, it's trying to maintain that trust by being honest with them, being responsive to them. I mean, no different than having trust with a friend is, or even trust with a stranger. I mean, asking me what time it is. I assume they're going to be honest with me about what time it is. So I think that's really it.
Mm-hmm.
Not to kind of fake trust. Tell them you can trust me, that sort of thing. But it's just through building a relationship and not losing their trust by misrepresenting things.
Yeah.
Or giving them a bunch of BS about what's going to happen.
I mean, I like that answer because I feel like it's been said, obviously not about you, that not every attorney or lawyer always is transparent, honest, and upfront. So I think that is probably a very effective way to establish rapport with someone out of the gate and really just kind of cards on the table, right?
Yeah.
Because everything then extends out of that. So because I think that the type of law that you practice as well is in such a saturated market, how do you feel like that rolls into your ability to distinguish yourself from other people?
I don't know. I mean, I think the best people to...
It's like, that's why we hire Cindy, obviously.
Yeah, no. I mean, but candidly, like, I'm not sure. I really enjoy what I do because I genuinely am interested in my clients and their well-being and the people that I work with. And if that's a distinguishing feature that people find, then, they'll talk about it. They'll tell their friends, they'll write reviews and so forth. But that's kind of the best answer I have for it.
I think it's like a very natural answer because for me, like if I was looking for someone to represent me or to trust, right? It's like, I don't want to feel like I'm being sold to. That feels icky. And especially now today, I feel like there's always these discussions we're having in this building anyway around this next generation of like specifically Gen Z. They don't click on ads. They don't want to be sold to. And I think the thread runs even deeper than that, and just kind of like the general atmosphere we're operating in right now, like as human beings, like AI videos, you don't know what's real, who to trust, where to go, right? And so when it starts to feel icky and like, this feels like, you know, a persona that you're dealing with rather than just like an individual who's got my back.
Yeah. That sits with me. I think it's too you become susceptible to making really irrational decisions based off of a lot of bad information, or like emotionally charged information. Like I always think about like car commercials. Yeah. Like nobody's driving their Jeep that way. Uphill, through rugged terrain. Like it looks fun, but like that's just not. Yeah. That doesn't happen. So for the most part. So I think I really agree with what you described, and like that attention span and the type of message is getting more condensed. Yes. To, you know, like a meme or something like that, where it doesn't even take 15 seconds.
Not even. No, like half that amount of time, I feel like is what we give people.
Yeah.
If we like them.
Well, in the theme of trustworthiness, right, and talking about that, we've discussed a lot that clients really aren't case numbers at your firm. And I think that's what the industry sees a lot, right? With big names, big firms, it's like herding cattle. People don't really mean anything. There's not even a face associated with the attorney you might be speaking to. Yeah. And yet at your law practice, it's completely different. It's a one-on-one, very intimate conversation. Like we've mentioned before, people are in crisis when they come to you. You're very emotionally charged and you need someone you can trust. So what have you leaned into with that thought in mind with regard to your advertising or marketing or communications or even internal practices that kind of help differentiate that big law firm from the more personal, smaller boutique law firm?
Yeah, I think and this is just maybe like a general statement on how people feel, or at least how I'm observing them in a situation where it's a crisis or they're upset about something, is that the person on the other end is just trying to ask them questions to like get through a checklist. And people in those times, like they just want to tell their whole story, not just be interrupted every like 2 seconds to fill in a checkbox that's on the other end of the phone that's part of an answering service intake form or something like that. So it's really just me shutting my mouth and saying, just tell me what happened. Yeah. And some people, you know, it just takes a little bit of time, but they want to be heard. And, you know, that's helpful. It's helpful in any situation, just to sometimes be quiet and listen to somebody else's point of view and their story and how it's affecting them.
Yeah, I have to imagine like part of your job as therapist, you know, of trying to let people tell their story in a safe space, really. Yeah.
They do. And it's also a time, you know, I let just about everybody know, like if sometimes you can call for like a case update or something important, but like if you also just need to vent about it, like that's fine too. Yeah. It's, you know, it's better to do that to me so I can at least start to understand more about you as a person and how the case has affected you. Like don't vent on your search bar and then get 30 different, you know, pieces of advice on what to do next about your case.
Right. Off script, sorry, but I'm going to ask, how has ChatGPT and AI impacted what you're seeing from people either finding you or advice? Like I have a doctor friend who's pulling his hair out because as if Wikipedia wasn't bad enough already, now people are coming in with their own full diagnosis, you know? Have you seen any impacts from that?
So I haven't really seen too much of that. There've been a few people that have like found me and my firm through using ChatGPT, and I don't understand the mechanics behind all of it. I think I'm fine with it. Like I really enjoy clients that have like a bunch of questions. So then they can leave like our conversation and then answer the 1,000 questions that their family or friends are being like, well, you really should have known the answer to this.
Right.
So it's fine. At times I try to preempt that. Look, if you have questions, just shoot it over. But I don't know. I haven't had anybody specifically like hammer out this is what I got on.
They come with the whole strategy.
Yeah, they've got the whole thing.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. I think that actually speaks to, you and your firm, that you're not feeling, I'll call it threatened by that. I think some professionals see it as like coming for their jobs, right? We get that because there is so much of marketing that can be discovered through AI and through ChatGPT of, folks who think that they're now the experts in the room.
Yeah.
Fortunately, you've got letters behind your name to actually show that you have some like knowledge and qualifications of what to do there.
Sure. Yeah. I could be totally proven wrong about this, but I think the frustration that people can show towards being asked questions like that, if you're a professional, is the expectation that the person on the other end should just take what you have to say about the situation and accept it.
Ooh.
And I have, the being able, and again, this just goes back to understanding somebody else's point of view. Like I'm totally open to the idea that my view of my client's case could be wrong, and that they need to give me some information about what they're experiencing or what they found out or what they thought's important in a case and share it with me. I'll give you an example. So when I do depositions in cases, most of the time I'll have my clients also sit in on it, and not to participate, but so they can see me questioning a witness and then provide me their input of what they think might be important.
Smart.
And so it's, I think it's a little bit of the, no, you need to, I'm the expert, listen to me, where it's really, that's a relationship, as I imagine is with your clients. The more feedback you can get from them, maybe it helps you, do your job or meet their needs.
I love that. A humble attorney. Who knew? They're out there. That's amazing. I think that you just really tapped into, kind of like a core belief, which is if you know your stuff, why would you be threatened by another tool that's going to help you support your line of questioning or your line of strategy or your, line of campaigning, if you will? Right. Like in our side, I've started like hanging my hat on this catchphrase around AI specifically, which is it can come up with a good answer, but it doesn't always know the right answer. And I think the nuances of that is where you and your firm and, the relationship of like, what is your story and how do we help you support that really come through?
Absolutely. It kind of brings us to that big question. So how, in the course of everything that you do and the fact that you are a smaller firm here in the Tampa market, what do you do differently that helps you fight the big dogs? And we'll leave them unnamed, but it's actually a spending issue. All that's happening is they're spending more money, right? Doesn't mean that they're better, faster, more knowledgeable, nicer. It doesn't mean any of that. They're just spending more money. Yeah. So what do you do that's different or that helps your firm secure the types of clients that really need that personal touch?
Yeah, I think it's the, kind of what we've been talking about, just the way that we approach handling cases and handling clients. It's also relying on, experts in the field who know a lot more about marketing than I do. That's a field that totally escapes me. But I mean, simply, it's like, look, I like food analogies for some reason. It's like we make a certain kind of food, and we're not going to change it because other people out there are making it faster or different or however they want to make it. And that's just the viewpoint of it.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And it kind of helps sort of go back to that idea of the legacy that your firm has. So talk to us a little bit about that and the fact that the firm hasn't been around for just 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. There's a big story behind where you came from and how long you've actually been in practice and what Manny, your dad, did to establish the firm years and years ago.
Yeah. So no, my dad and his partner, Paul, started the firm in the early 80s. They brought on another partner, Michael Kinney, who, I think he passed the bar in like the 40s or the 50s or something like that.
Nice.
And
There's some legacy.
Right.
Yeah.
He knows some things.
I had the opportunity to start working there in 2008. And so it's been nice. I had to work with my dad for part of the time. My cousin was there, and it's, it's a really nice thing to be able to do that. I think sometimes there's, people, especially sometimes, maybe younger people or at least my age at the time, with this idea of like always striking out something you don't want to do what my family does. But that's how I kind of viewed it, as being part of a family business.
What was that moment?
Yeah.
What was that moment then when you're like, okay, I'm ready to actually step up and take over? When was that jewel of a second where you just looked at Manny and you're like, yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, I don't know if there ever, the same thing could be said about like any real like major decision, I guess, for me, or even deciding to go to law school and so forth. It never was just like like, this is the moment, like turn right here. Mm-hmm. It is just part of a process that was just the next step in it, I think.
And so what year did he start the law firm?
I want to say it was 86.
Okay, 86.
I think so. If I'm the dates and stuff are fading for me,
yes,
it's just part of.
We'll call it 40 years.
For reference, I was in high school, guys.
Yeah. So
I don't know that he was born.
Okay, so 40 years. There's a lot. There's a lot of legacy. There's a lot of stories. There's a lot of history here. Is there any case or circumstance that still lives on as a story that still gets talked about today?
It's a really good question, but I can't really think of any. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm doing.
Or one that maybe like helped shape the existence or future of the business.
I think it maybe not an individual case. It's sort of maybe a set of them. Like the whole thing of going through law school, and it's sort of weird. Like there's not like a residency program, I guess, compared to a doctor. So it's much more just focused on the way to think like being a lawyer, but not what it's like to ever kind of be one. Mm-hmm. And it took a while to fully understand what that means. And that's the array of people and their backgrounds and the diversity of problems that they have and the diversity of thoughts they have coming into the process. And that, like being able to understand that and appreciate it, that, regardless of where someone's from, who they voted for, how much money they have, the color of their skin, their religious beliefs, whatever it might be, that there's a certain level of client care that needs to be brought to the table. Mm-hmm. And that just never gets taught in law school. It just really doesn't. Yeah. At least when,
This is the humanity part of the business.
Yeah. Who knew there was humanity in PI?
The bedside manners, I guess, version of it doesn't really, get brought to bear on students.
Right.
That the way that, maybe it would be useful too.
So do you feel like using that thread and that piece of information of like the humanity of the business, which isn't really taught in school per se, right? Were there learnings that helped direct you? Like, okay, so the question is, what won't you touch? Is there a case that you were like, nope, not for me?
So I have had, I had the opportunity to spend a part of, you get these like summer associate jobs. Okay. So I think it was my first summer out of law school was at the state attorney's office. And I just couldn't do criminal defense or prosecution. There was something about it that just, I would have a hard time if I thought somebody really didn't do something to continue pushing forward with it. And then the same side on maybe the criminal defense side, I just wasn't something that I could do.
Sat well with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that brings up a really great question. So a lot of times when people mention personal injury, PI, people give them, ambulance chasers, that type of feeling. Yeah. So when you're meeting someone new, let's say this is outside of a business situation and it's more social, how do you combat that when someone asks what you do and you're like, I'm a personal injury attorney, like you don't want to mention that? How do you get around that kind of stigma with the type of industry that you're in?
I really don't try to get around it. Like, I like what I do. I don't feel that that's sort of directed at me. So what normally ends up happening is I tell somebody what I do and they're like, you don't seem like a lawyer, like, or something. Like, there's something about
is it the Hawaiian shirt? Maybe, I don't know.
Well, yeah, this is casual Friday.
Love it.
In Florida. So I think that's a little bit of it. Maybe I don't.
But it only takes one to give everyone a bad name.
Yep.
Right. I feel like you get painted a certain way. I feel this way in our profession, quite frankly. And there are so many people who are self-proclaimed, marketing experts. And we get a lot of that runoff of other folks that have had really terrible experiences of people who take their money, serve an ad, never to be discovered where it actually went. There's no reporting, right? And so I could go on and on, like all the charlatans running around pretending and charading as experts, which I'm sure there are in your industry, but they have ad budgets behind it. So, do you have any good attorney jokes? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I don't. But that's something that you, to some extent, see just about everywhere.
That's
where
right.
It's
always
easy to be an expert now, or to claim an expertise in just about anything.
Yeah.
I mean, spend 5 minutes reading about something and then post about it, and then now you're a freelance
and put a podcast
journalist
together, and then really know where.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's awesome. I think that's an awesome way to end, our conversation here. 21 minutes is literally never enough. I so appreciate your time.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, I feel like what a just humility and relationship building to see from your side. And it's no wonder that you're now second generation of like this legacy business that obviously has just a bright future ahead. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Marcus.
I appreciate you being
a lot of fun
here.
Yeah,
thanks.
Absolutely. Bye, guys.
Bye.